FBI Director Christopher Wray set to take the hot seat on Capitol Hill hours from now. House Republicans will be pressing him over what they see as the politicization of the agency, which they believe has been weaponized, particularly against conservatives. Joining me right now, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz, a Republican member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being with us, making the time here on Morning in America. How will members of your committee hold Director Wray accountable rather than waste time talking around these issues of whether there is any truth to the politicization of this agency?
Well, thank you for having me. I mean, definitely, if you look at everything that's happened at the FBI, it's really not just politicization. It's using government against the American people. The agencies are supposed to protect the rights of American people. And the challenge what I have, we do these hearings, we did it 2 years ago. Director Wray did nice presentations, telling all these promises. He will do a nice presentation again, but until we start cutting spending to some of these agencies and actually authorizing spending and do our work as Congress, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to be accountable. And I think that is something that Congress is not doing its duty, because over 90% of our spending is not authorized. And they only understand that's not when we write letters, do these presentations and hearings again and again, but when we stop giving them money, stop reauthorizing something like Section 702, which was violating against American citizens. You know, it's like a KGB. I compared them to warrantless surveillance of the American citizens, and we have to do something about it.
You mentioned the KGB. I know you emigrated here from Ukraine. We're going to talk about, hopefully touch on Ukraine in this conversation just a little bit. But what do you think is the most damning piece of evidence that led us here, where the entire agency, the FBI and the DOJ, are being questioned for this kind of bias?
Well, unfortunately, when I look at it 2 years ago, when we had the hearing, and I read the FISA report about them using sections that was created for foreign citizens on foreign soil to actually survey Americans, I was shocked. Pervasive material violations. Millions of Americans, their rights were violated. But after what is happening right now, after Durham report, we pretty much the collusion, the government to take down political candidate, coming after conservative, after coming after parents at school boards meeting, after using that to cover up some of the investigations for president's sons, which is very concerning. After FBI is pretty much using big tech and colluding with big tech to censor Americans violate their right, and recently actually including with supposedly Russian FSB on the direction now because it was infiltrated. I mean, this is like unbelievable. When I look at that, you don't know when to start. And we have to have a serious conversation, not just have these hearings and presentations. What is happening inside our agencies? Because I'm sure there are some good people out there, but leadership of this agency either incompetent or corrupt altogether or political. And we have to start hold them accountable. Look at the Durham report. Years of investigations. No one remembers anything. Couldn't press any charges. No one go to jail. So there is no accountability, and we have to do better.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking what the repercussions should be. As you mentioned, no accountability. Some, you said, presumed ignorance, people not knowing or not knowing who to tell. Would you be for impeaching Director Wray or Merrick Garland, Attorney General Garland, which has been thrown around as an idea?
Well, I think impeachment process is a very serious process. We have to do investigations and gather evidence because it has to raise to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors. We shouldn't take these processes lightly because they can, get a lot of attention. But if they don't bring results, we're wasting our time. So we need to make sure we do proper investigation and have a discussion. But we need to have discussion. What's happening at the border, what's happening with Department of Justice, what's happening at the FBI, and see what is really actions we need to take at the committee. And we'll have these discussions.
I know that this is not what you're going to be talking about today, but clearly you did emigrate here from Ukraine. You are here now in the U.S. representing the state of Indiana. What do you say to Americans who are concerned that because we have less ammunition than the Department of Defense thinks is reasonable for our own munitions, and that the Ukraine government is receiving so much support from the U.S., should we change our outlook on what we're supplying Ukraine, even in light of the war not ending?
Well, listen, I told a long time ago, we need to have peace to strength. And the best deterrence, if we should have supplied these weapons before war started. President Biden been slow working this aid. It takes him forever. And unfortunately, it only prolongs, this war. Unfortunately, it costs us more money. It costs enormous amount of lives to the Ukrainian people, too. And if we want to get this war to end, which no one wants, it's never ending wars, we need to have faster and better supply weapons that Ukrainian military can win on the field to be able, on the battlefield to be able to get to the table. Because right now Russia has still very imperialistic views, and they believe they're going to be conquering the world with China and Iran. And it's unfortunate. We need to put this aggressor in their place, because it is unacceptable to have such a major war that can be turned in a very dangerous situation. And it's truly been weakness of leadership from the West. And I think West has been too slow, too bureaucratic, too appeasing. And I think we need to become stronger.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.